born?
I was born here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and then I moved to California when I was 18 and lived there for 25 years. Toby?
Born in Tacoma, Washington.
Grew up in where?
Orange County, Santa Barbara, California.
So how was life like before experiencing homelessness?
Well, me and Toby got married. We met in 2011, and we got married in 2012. So it was really hard for a big adjustment stage because of his mental illness and stuff. And then we lived right in the middle of Anaheim, California, where we were on, where the homeless were like infested. It was infested with homeless. Hopping the fence behind our apartment.
Our laundry room.
And yeah, and then they would see that we were friends with a couple of them, and they would start picking on us and saying that we're the cause of people getting things stolen and bed bugs. So we ended up losing everything.
So how old were you before being homeless?
I was 45. Toby would have been 44. I'm 1 year older than him.
Have you experienced homelessness before that?
No. I raised 5 beautiful kids and never experienced it like this.
When she lost her car, I would ride from my house on a bike with no brakes to go and see her, have lunch with her, then ride back to my house.
This is how he knew he wanted to be married and be happy, really.
So how long have you been experiencing homelessness?
We've experienced homeless altogether 5 years. 4 years in California and 1 year here.
Do you remember the first night on the streets?
Yes, very well.
What was it like?
It was like we just got done packing up everything in storage. We had a little red wagon, and we had our did we have the cat with us? No, we had Stevie, our little Yorkie, and we're walking down. It's getting dark. We're like, where we go? So we decided to go down where the homeless were, where we knew, which was the riverbed behind our apartments, the smallish riverbed. There was a lawsuit that was filed by the city, by the federal judge, but by some of the homeless advocates that the city was coming in, the county was coming in, and bringing in these big boulders and removing our property without even telling us, not even giving us notice. So that gave the judge, and that gave us 8 months on a riverbed where a judge can investigate where $2.5 million was going. Where was the county? That was for a homeless fund. Every city, every state has a homeless fund with the board of supervisors, and that homeless fund is set up for the homeless. So how are you supposed to explain how much money is going out? How come we are not all being placed in a home? You got so many abandoned houses out here. You can put people back to work, Curly.
Did you have a job
Yes.
before being homeless?
Yes, I was a certified RN caregiver, and then I had a crossing guard job for about 9 years. So in Brea, so it was pretty. Yeah.
So what happened?
I went back in 98. I started, or 2008. I started having some mental breakdowns of, my relationship with my family, getting my 2 other kids back from New York, and then I met Toby, and then he was my full-time job. So it's sad how our society today is being judgmental on the homeless. And Ronald Reagan is kind of fully responsible for it, because mostly of the people that are out on the streets, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, are mostly mentally ill patients. They're mentally ill. The Ronald Reagan, when he signed into law back in the 80s, letting all of them out and cutting back on the mentally ill funds, that caused the biggest uproar of the system failing.
Dangers. Anybody can walk up to you and something can happen. I mean, you walk in, you get gun pointed at you, knife pulls on you, and
How
Or you
often?
get drugged. Oh,
get drugged. I have
it hasn't really happened to us. It happened more to us in California on the biggest riverbed, where my husband was shot. They told me my husband was dead. They tried to separate us. They wouldn't help us. They wouldn't house us. And so that's where we had a big problem of trying to say anything, because I was picking my moment, because between Tulsa and California, Tulsa's a little bit behind, but Tulsa would benefit for a program like the one I want to create, a nonprofit for me and my husband, but we want to create and have a shelter that's open to everyone, but have it open to animals, families, pets, couples, but teach them things. Have it a year-long program. At the end of the year, you got a job. You got help. You got all the services in one building. They have color. I don't want to walk into no shelter, and that's the reason why I'm out here, Curly. It's because no shelters will allow Sweet Pea, who's an emotional service cat, in a shelter. So they won't allow no dogs unless they're service dogs. What part is that any right? And Toby can't even, it's been a very hard battle.
What is your motivation to keep going and waking up?
Of course, my 3 cats and the dog and Toby and the kids,
So, how did you get the name of Mom and Pop?
Street kids.
Street kids.
I give a shout out to the street kids.
Advice would you give to someone who's going through what you're going through?
I give everybody advice that if you're able to go into a shelter, go in. If you're able to get any of the services like Family and Children Services, Day Center, do the case management, try to get housed, because they can't help you if you don't ask questions. They can't help you if you don't go in and ask for help.
Crystal from Texas wanted to encourage y'all, okay? She said, your strength doesn't go unnoticed. Your beauty tells a significant story. The way you pour out into others, even when your cup is almost empty, is powerful. In the midst of feeling powerless, you are most powerful. The way you motivate others, even when you're facing your own struggles, is admirable. Your heart is beautiful. Your love is pure. Your story has reached me from all the way from Texas.
Thank you, ladies, very much for everything. God bless you guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Toby and Mary.
There you go, brother. And Pops, my God.